episode of WINTV, Ugg Boots, the fashion phenomenon. Black Rock Coffee opens near campus. And how the football team is using drones to improve their game. Stay tuned after the show for Wolverine Replay. WINTV Live starts right now.
Live from Wakeland High School in Frisco, Texas, this is WINTV.
Good afternoon, Wolverines. I'm Ben Miller.
And I'm Grace Pugh. This is an exciting time, isn't it, Ben?
Yes, and a very busy time of year, too, for exams, sports, college applications. Been in full swing with their morning practices.
Wow, you sure do a lot of running around. Do you ever get tired?
Yeah, my feet are killing me.
Are you wearing your Crocs?
I don't see why that's important.
Well, actually, what you wear on your feet can set the tone for how your day is going to turn out. Caroline Engel recently investigated just how important footwear can be in their story, The Ugg Phenomenon. Take it away, Caroline.
Uggs are making a comeback at Wakeland High School, with students sporting the cozy footwear in record numbers this fall. As trends shift towards comfort and sustainability, Ugg boots remain not just a seasonal choice, but a year-round favorite for Wakeland students.
My favorite shoes to wear are Uggs because they're so comfortable. They keep my feet warm. They're easy to slip on and off. I just love Uggs. Ugg slippers are the best slipper on the market. They're just so comfortable and cozy.
With the changing of styles throughout the past 20 years, many teachers have seen a change in students' footwear fashion.
Basically, whenever I was a teenager, Uggs were all the rave. Everybody wore Uggs, but they were only the boot style for the most part. So you had to have a pair of Uggs, and they had to be the brand Uggs. And so I really saw, pretty much everybody I knew had Uggs. And then over the years, I think they kind of fell off, and I really didn't hear about Uggs very much. But now, I think, in the recent years, they've made a comeback, but I think they've changed their style to be more of that slide style versus the boot style. And I think that it's, they've made a comeback as far as their brand.
While Ugg boots are currently experiencing a surge in popularity, the questions arise about their potential long-term impact on foot health. To address these concerns, Dr. Jill Wisdom offers her professional insights.
I don't think they're for everyday use, but I do wear them when it gets cold enough outside. Uggs are essentially not supportive, just in the fact that they don't have any arch support in them and they're very loose on your feet. They don't give very much support from side to side. They do have a nice sturdy bottom though.
Despite varying beliefs and opinions about these shoes, we expect to see people wearing these shoes for years to come. I'm Caroline Engel for WINTV.
That's a good point. Your feet carry you through life, and you need the right shoes for the journey.
I know. For me, my morning starts with a nice cup of coffee.
Totally. It's necessary. Have you ever checked out Black Rock Coffee? I think it's on 423.
Yeah, I actually have. Chloe Cotter and I were just talking about Black Rock. In fact, she and her journalism team just wrote about how they've really transformed the coffee scene in town.
Fastest growing city in the U.S., with everyone needing their morning cup of joe. Coffee shops are a necessity. Most recently joining the market is Black Rock Coffee. But there's more to this place than its delicious drinks. Here lies a story. The Black Rock Coffee Bar began as a small family-owned business, but in the past 16 years, the coffee shop has expanded to 143 stores, with the new location only 10 minutes away from Wakeland. This cafe is not only a new source of caffeine, but also a nearby example of a successful startup business. For those interested in starting a business of their own, the cafe owners have advice for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Lots and lots of hard work, for sure. We're investing into the growth of new stores, into hiring the very best of people, making sure that the customers get the absolute best service. So we just have to make sure that we are offering great quality products, really great and fast speed of service.
Yeah, just knowing the industry and then making sure that you're profitable so that you can succeed not only for yourself, but for everyone that you employ.
But a business is nothing without its employees. Here's what the cafe's regional manager had to say about working for the company.
I've been with the company since April of 2021. I started as a barista and then just slowly climbed up into management. Yeah, my experience with Black Rock specifically has been positive. Versus other jobs, though, I definitely think this one has required the most responsibility. Black Rock growing from a small family-owned business to a huge corporate company now. I think the reason why is the connections, We pay attention to each customer that comes in. We try and give them the best service that we can. Trying to get them a cup of coffee that's filled with gold.
With Black Rock as a great example of the entrepreneurial spirit, Jake Lawson, a Wakeland student, talks about his experience while being in the entrepreneurship class.
Personally, I find it very engaging. A lot of the work we get to do seems meaningful, especially if you want to go into entrepreneurship as a career. Like This Is Your Business, for example, is something we work on where we get to found our own business and go really in depth about how it's organized, etc. They're able to offer more targeted services as big chains aren't really able to get on that micro level and supply individual preferences as much as maybe the small family-owned businesses who can adapt to changing consumer needs in small areas.
One thing is certain, Black Rock is a shining example of a successful franchise and a beacon of caffeinated hope for all entrepreneurs alike. I'm Chloe Cotter with WINTV.
The cafe just opened up off of Main and 423, right on the way to Texas Family Fitness.
You go to Texas Family Fitness? I thought everyone went to Lifetime.
Well, yeah, but you know, if you go to Texas Family, it's...
Well, Lifetime's slightly better.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, it's not a big deal, at least. Not with our big story, where we asked Wakeland students, what color is math?
Oh yeah, I remember that. The debates are really interesting to watch. Let's see what Wakeland students think the color of math is.
In a world of black and white textbooks, students are adding a splash of color to their learning.
Why is your background blue?
Because math is blue.
It's not blue, it's red. I don't know why you keep saying this.
Yeah, but you also have to tie it to emotions. Like blue is calming, and whenever you're reading, you're not enraged.
How do you know
it's
that?
Calm, because I've read a book before.
The color red has always been associated with passion or danger, meaning that those who believe math is red most likely find the course to be difficult. On the contrary, blue is recognized as a calm color, symbolizing stability. Those who believe math is blue most likely find the systems and rules to be easy.
I like math. I want to like math, but unfortunately, like I like math, but I'm not that good at it. But I don't like history and English, but I'm really good at both of them.
Do you think it's like the subject that comes like more naturally to you?
Maybe.
Because
red is a warm color, and red is, I don't know, reading and history makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And history,
Oh, does it?
History,
Math does not make you feel
math
warm
doesn't
and
make me
fuzzy
feel
at all.
warm and fuzzy. It makes me feel cold and like sad. So
think
cold
that's
and
just
sad
blue.
colors are like blue.
I feel very warm and fuzzy about math.
Despite the discourse over all the subjects, one stands out with a unanimous agreement.
Because it's like green. I don't know what other.
No, but like science has always been green.
Since when?
Since like forever.
Nope.
I think science is green because biology and plants.
I just like think science is white because like it has that vibe.
While the subject color debate may seem silly on the surface, the argument carries many nuances, reflecting the complexity of the human psyche. I'm Benjamin Miller for WINTV.
Wow, so there's a lot of psychology behind why we associate certain colors with certain subjects.
Definitely. It's interesting how our fear or anxiety around a subject can change our perception of it.
That gets me thinking, why do we feel scared around Halloween?
Good question. Bailey Carlton tells us what's so fascinating about scary stories and the allure of fear.
Brings a wave of spooky enthusiasm, especially for English 2 students with their unit where they discover the literary arguments behind our fascination with fright. They discover the allure of fear and unravel this mystery.
But what exactly is fear, and why do we feel it? We talked to the psychology teacher, Miss McKee, for more information.
You are presented with a certain situation that you don't feel you have the resources to deal with. So you actually sometimes get a little bit of a rush when you get into fear. The idea of some of us are adrenaline junkies. We get excited and we like that excitement. We also like the coming off of it, where we feel that feeling of peace afterwards. And so there are times that we're attracted to that rush. The other thing is that nowadays a lot of us are really uncomfortable with boredom. We have a very low tolerance for boredom. And so we want that next thing that's going to get our attention. What's this? Oh, hey, look, squirrel. Oh my God, something is, we're always looking for that next thing.
Now we turn it over to the English 2 department for more insight on why they have a fear analyzing unit.
In English 2, we are doing a fear collection. So we are reading a bunch of English or like fear stories in English. And all like every week we have to read 2. And each week has a different like fear, as in like anxiety. They're very interesting, and they're short stories, but they're also kind of long.
They learn how to decode what information is being given to them and the author's purpose, message, and overall audience. When students are watching things or reading things in the future, we want them to interpret why it is being said or why it's important. So that's why we focus on fear, because it's something entertaining and also educational.
As we roll into spooky season, many are discovering various ways to enjoy this October. But how are you going to immerse yourself in the allure of fear? I'm Bailey Carlton for WINTV.
Thanks for that interesting perspective, Bailey, and happy 17th birthday.
It was her birthday? Oh, happy birthday! And that's not the only celebration going on this month, as Hispanic Heritage Month just ended. Ava Wheatley tells us more about the local celebrations.
The impact of Hispanic traditions on American culture is shown this Hispanic Heritage Month. Students from various backgrounds are diving into this rich culture, highlighting its relevance in our modern society.
I think it's important to learn about Hispanic culture because there's so many people in this world, and it's so important to know like kind of their background, where they come from, and I feel like it's honestly just really fun to know about the people around you. NHS and the classes help you learn about the culture because mainly in Spanish 4 and 5 we do a lot of research on different countries. Like in Spanish 4 we go in depth about a specific country, their holidays, the food they eat, their culture.
And as Frisco is growing in size, so is the Hispanic population as they continue to expand their culture across the community.
My favorite aspect of my culture would definitely be the food. I love the food and the arts we have, especially the dancing. Oh my gosh, I love it.
However, it's not only about these superficial things, but also about the sharing of such traditions through generations.
Hispanic heritage means a lot to me, especially because I come from a Hispanic family and a Hispanic household, and I think it's really important to embrace our culture and keep on passing from generation to generation.
Wheatley for WINTV.
Thanks to Ava for bringing us that special report.
Now we can talk about the Halloween season.
Yes, in Diwali. It's the Hindu festival of lights.
Oh yeah, I saw my neighbor hanging her white lights around the house earlier this week.
It's nice to see all the decorations going up in Frisco. Halloween and Diwali are on the same night this year, so there's definitely a festive mood in the air.
Eric Kanzler has more about the festival and traditions around Frisco.
Two cultures collide as families in Frisco plan to celebrate the rare overlap of two international holidays, Halloween and Diwali. Frisco residents are embracing this unique cultural fusion dubbed Diwaloween. While many Frisco families are familiar with Halloween traditions, Diwali brings its own combination of colorful decorations for both holidays. Diwali is a festival celebrated by many different cultures. This holiday does not have a specific date. It's based on the Indian lunar calendar. The festival is unique for its ability to gather the Indian community together and celebrate India's biggest holiday.
There's singing, there's dancing, local schools go out, there's food stalls, and then there's important people that show up, and sometimes there's Bollywood people, Hollywood people that show up. So it's become far more community-driven over the weekends.
Diwali celebrations often include vibrant firework displays symbolizing the victory of light over darkness or good over evil. However, with many children celebrating Halloween by trick-or-treating, there are concerns over the fireworks.
I think a lot of it is just being mindful and not doing anything dumb, because although fireworks aren't like super dangerous, if they're used improperly, then they could hurt someone. So I think it's important to be mindful of your surroundings.
While people are getting their celebrations ready for Diwali, Halloween enthusiasts are adding their own spark to the festivities.
There should be no restrictions, and we should have huge fireworks on October 31st.
As the weather gets cooler, Frisco showcases cultural diversity and celebration, uniting communities while respecting individual choices. I'm Eric Kanzler for WINTV.
Great, there's a lot to look forward to this month.
Yes, it's so pretty at night around here. The neighborhoods are all decorated nicely and everyone's really getting into the fall spirit.
Yeah, and if it's not Halloween or Diwali, people are decorating for fall in general.
Well, yeah, it's definitely too early to decorate for Christmas.
Why don't we hear from Emily Stevens, who recently looked into the tradition of fall decorations.
Paints the landscape in vibrant hues, transforming porches into living museums. Decorations like jack-o'-lanterns and wreaths tell stories of ancient traditions.
So the history of jack-o'-lanterns originated in the Celtic tradition in Ireland. They would take turnips, they would carve them out and put faces in them, and then put candles in them to ward off evil spirits. And then whenever they started immigrating over to America in the 18 and 1900s, they obviously brought their traditions with them. And whenever they were in America, they found that it was easier to find pumpkins rather than turnips. And so that's where we have jack-o'-lanterns.
Along with the iconic jack-o'-lanterns, many front doors are adorned with fall wreaths. Wreaths, originating all the way back to Roman times, are a great way to spruce up the house.
I think wreaths benefit the overall appearance of the house because they just add like a seasonal detail that makes your house look more put together. I think any little extra details that you can add to your house, like a nice landscaping or exterior lighting, it all just adds to the overall aesthetic of your house and makes it look more festive.
I'm Emily Stevens for WINTV.
Thanks, Emily. If you want to hear any more interesting facts, go to wakelandaccess.com to hear more updates.
Wakelandaccess.com? Oh, cool. Here's a story about the fire in September and a special profile on Mr. Lovelace.
Isn't he the new counselor?
Yes. We're glad he's now at Wakeland. There are a lot of legacies on our staff, which is why we're profiling the teachers who have worked the longest at Wakeland. Here's our second installment of Legacy Teachers by Dan Levine.
In a world where mentorship shapes futures, two dedicated coaches at Wakeland are not just teaching the game, they're building a legacy. Coach Thompson, a proud alumnus who once played on these very fields, has returned to inspire the next generation of athletes. Meanwhile, Coach Oglesby has been a cornerstone of the school since its opening, remarking the growth of students over their high school years, including Coach Thompson.
That's one of the reasons why I got into the profession, is to be able to see that change. And the unique thing about what I do is I get an opportunity to interact with a lot of students. So to answer your question, yes, for sure, I've seen the transition from a student that maybe was a little behind as a freshman, that they've arrived as a senior. And that, to me, that's the most rewarding part of what I do.
Coach O also notes how his career at Wakeland has developed over 18 years.
In terms of growing up, I grew up at this place, so, started at the bottom, now we're here. And I started a family, I've had children, and just, it's been a tremendous blessing in my life being able to work here.
As Coach O speaks on how Wakeland has shaped his career, Coach Thompson recalls why he chose to start his career back at Wakeland.
It was a combination of wanting to be around sports, all right, and also my love for baseball, but also some experiences I had with coaching, some side things I did where I got to work with younger kids.
Coach Thompson also notes how being back at Wakeland provides a new perspective.
You kind of get a feeling for, how teachers, like the things that they go through. Like as a student, you question some of the things teachers may do, but then you actually come back here and you are a part of that whole foundation, that whole system, and you realize, like, okay, that makes sense.
Both coaches recall characteristics of the other over the years.
Coach Oglesby, dude, the exact same thing he is right now, dude. All full of energy, just a good guy, good coach, cares about the kids, and he'll hype you up for sure.
Coach Thompson was a great student, tremendous person, great player, and that pretty much is what defines him as a coach today. He was, always working, and brought teammates along with him.
Together, these coaches exemplify the core values of Wakeland. I'm Dan Levine for WINTV.
Thanks, Dan. We'll hear more from Dan and Turner Corey in this month's Wolverine Replay, so stay tuned after this episode.
Now for a very important update about staying safe on the roads from Gracie Bueno.
Unpredictable fall weather can turn a scenic road trip into a challenging journey. Changing weather patterns have caught many teen travelers off guard, leading to danger. Weather preparation can mean the difference between a scenic autumn drive and a dangerous situation. Teenagers are unaware of what to do in case of an emergency and what supplies they would need if one were to happen.
I do not have a safety survival kit.
No, I don't have a safety survival kit. No, I do not have a safety survival kit.
No, I do not have a safety survival kit.
In case of an emergency, I'm running.
In case of an emergency, I would probably just, accept defeat.
It is clear that being prepared for fall weather is more important than ever. Students should take a closer look at some practical tips to make sure they are ready for whatever this fall has in store. First, check emergency supply kits and ensure all necessary items are stocked up. This includes flashlights, batteries, Band-Aids, first aid kits, non-perishable foods, and extra water. It's also advised to identify safe shelter locations both at home, school, and on the road, in case cover is needed in a storm. Stay informed about weather forecasts and alerts in local areas or places you are driving through. I'm Gracie Bueno for WINTV.
It's important to have a safety plan so you don't get tackled by bad weather and know what to do in an emergency.
100%. Did you hear that they're now using drones to predict tornadoes?
Really?
Yeah, Oklahoma State University does a lot of work improving meteorology with drones now.
Cameras are everywhere, including the football field. Cooper Eggle brings us the innovative new way that the Wakeland Wolverines are using drones at practice.
Wakeland student athletes are gearing up for their fall seasons, but not in the way you'd expect, with this little guy. High school athletes are stepping into the future as cutting-edge technology transforms training and performance on the field. Coach Oglesby, defensive coordinator, has more on how this tech advancement helps with practice.
With the addition of the drone that we use, we get an ability to get a better view in terms of the mechanics and the techniques and all the things that we expect players to do within practice. You know, we used to use an end zone camera, which is an okay view, but now with the addition of the drone, the ability to film things quickly on the fly, the ability to capture pictures that you might not otherwise see with just a normal rear view of film.
The drone gives athletes the perfect opportunity to self-reflect and better their skills for the next game.
We study, we do a lot of film study, and it helps us get our plays down and pack. Like things that we do in practice that we mess up on, we correct them through film. We are able to see what we mess up on and, work on it better the next practice.
As our technology improves, more opportunities are available to more students and teachers in sports, changing the game as we know it. I'm Cooper Eggle for WINTV.
And to wrap up the show...
I think you're forgetting something.
Wait, I am?
Are you?
Okay, wait, now, to wrap up our show, we're waiting for Wolverine Replay.
Here's Wolverine Replay.
Wolverine volleyball team extends their winning streak to 15 games after demolishing Reedy High School 3-0.
And you can't talk about this team without mentioning Hannah Lee. She's been unstoppable.
And don't forget about defensive specialist Emerson Jones. She's racked up 32 blocks this season, making it impossible for opponents to score.
The Wolverines sit at the top of district standings and hold the #3 spot in regional rankings. They'll put their winning streak on the line this Friday against Frisco.
The next chance to catch these stars in action at home will be October 22nd when they face off against Creekview. Varsity match starts at 6:30 p.m.
With playoffs approaching, this team shows no signs of slowing down.
Joining them in the playoffs is the varsity tennis team. We celebrated their success at the latest pep rally.
If you missed it, you can watch online on our WINTV YouTube page.
To get more news on all our sports teams, visit wakelandaccess.com.
Now for the football replay.
These past weeks, our Wolverines have been on a 2-game win streak, starting off with a 35-14 victory over Centennial. This game was electric from the beginning, as Jaden Maples drops a 40-yard bomb to Lucas Mangum, setting up a 4-yard touchdown to Mangum. With a deep pass from Jaden Maples to Ryder Treadway, and a handful of rushing touchdowns from Showtime AP gives the Wolverines the edge against Centennial. What a great game it was for the Wolverines. In a much-needed win against Heritage, our Wolverines started off hot in the first half, with touchdowns from Aiden Poole, a wide-open touchdown in the end zone from Ryder Treadway, and another Ryder Treadway touchdown. And an extra effort touchdown from Grayson Meyer gave the Wolverines a comfortable 23-0 lead. In the end, our Wakeland defense came in clutch with Cedric Thornton snagging 2 interceptions for a final score of 30-27. This has been Turner Corey and Dan Levine for WINTV.
Thanks, Dan and Turner. Don't forget to check out wakelandaccess.com for more stories.
And follow Wakeland Access on Instagram. We'll see you this November 20th. I'm Ben Miller.
And I'm Grace Pooh. Stay forever orange and blue and have a great rest of your day, Wolverines.